Hey folks, it's Rod with POW Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ Stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Today is Sunday. Happy Father's Day. It's June 15th. Hope you're well. And in this video, we're going to dive into the CRSP chart. We're going to take a look at Crispr Therapeutics. This stock has been very popular recently, and Kathy Woods was discussing it on a podcast. Even my girlfriend brought it up. And generally, when retail investors bring something up and want to buy it, I automatically expect more downside, because usually these hedge fund or institutional investors or fund managers, they're talking their book, and generally when they go on public and talk about a company, the company tends to fall. And we'll take a look at, and that's exactly what I looked at. I looked at the chart and hit it with some POW algo alerts, and it looks like we could potentially see, spoiler alert, $23 in the chart. So we'll take a look at the technicals, what to expect in terms of the price action in the days, weeks, months ahead. Obviously a very speculative company and pharmaceutical company, looking to kind of, different, kind of claims that they can potentially find a cancer cure, all of these different things. But I'm just going to look at, I don't really know anything from a fundamental perspective. I'm just going to look at the technicals, and I'll give my thoughts and opinions on what to expect in terms of that and the price action in the couple of months and weeks ahead. Before we do, make sure to smash like, help support me in the channel. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell. You'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. And as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only, and full disclosure, I do not own the stock. You can follow us over on X as well, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPOW. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. So I posted a video yesterday on the POW algo service. So I've created all of these different indicators, POW custom indicators. I've got 17 of them now. And you can see here, here's the whole list of them. And it's just super awesome to be able to use this. You can sign up for the algo service. You'll get email alerts, and you'll also get an email in the notification in the POW Group private community. But if you're not in that group, then you'll get email notifications. And one custom indicator that I just built is the head and shoulders and the inverse head and shoulders pattern. And look at how accurate this is. So we had the first head and shoulders here on the daily time frame, and it even gives you the target after it confirms. So when you get an email, you're going to get an email saying that there was a head and shoulders confirmed, and then you can just go over here and draw it on the chart. You can take your head and shoulders tool. There's your left shoulder, your head, and effectively the neckline there is also the blue line that's created by the algo. And then your measured move is just the length from here to there, and you can see that's the head length as well. So that's just the logic behind that target, and it's saying the target is 36. Well, it was 36.22. And we had 36.52, so that was perfection. And then we just had another one on the daily time frame, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. And again, you can take your head and shoulders tool, just draw it out real quickly so you can see it and visualize it. And that one actually confirmed as well. And we're seeing the downside continuation now, and the target on that is 23.72. So that's why I put in the thumbnail and the title that the next target is potentially $23. We did hit a low there of $30. So in terms of percentage, we came within about 20% away from that target. I just noticed this. We did have an ascending triangle though, and you can draw it like this. And you would draw it from the low to the high there. There you go. So there's your ascending triangle. We can even adjust that right there so it has as many touches. And essentially this is just a bullish continuation pattern where you see a series of higher lows and a horizontal line of resistance, and then you take your measured move there from the apex, so from the lowest point to the resistance line, and then you move it out to where we broke out, and there's the target here from the ascending triangle, so $53. So as of right now, we're trying to break out. Key resistance is going to be the high of the bounce there at 45.14, but if we come back within this range, this could be a bull trap. So key support going forward is going to be in this $36 range, but really in terms of price action, we have $35.38 as the exact level. So as long as we hold $35.38, there's a good chance that we're heading to $53. But if we break down and enter back within this range and then come down and lose key support at $35.38, we lose from here. If we were to lose 36, that would be a red flag, but most important support is going to be $35.38. We lose that, then we're more than likely heading down to that $23 target. But keep in mind that when there's two head and shoulder patterns, if there's two patterns back to back, the likelihood of the second one following through is less likely, right? Because you have more patterns back to back. My daughter's banging on my door as I'm making the video. Hopefully it's not too distracting. And then there was another head and shoulders here, and that one came within about 4% of the target. So now we can turn that off and we can bring up the inverse head and shoulders and check this out. There was an inverse head and shoulders here, boom, hit the target perfectly. Inverse head and shoulders here, it's just the opposite, right? You have two troughs for the shoulders that are the same, and then the head trough is a bit higher and a bit lower in terms of the price. And that one, the target was 60.05, and we hit 59.07. So from the head there to the high, that was a trade opportunity of about 36%. And then check this out, another inverse head and shoulders, and the target was 54. And look where we topped out, right pretty much on that. And then what you can do again is you can just take your head and shoulders tool and you can draw out the inverse head and shoulders, which was that. And the really cool thing about this is when you look at this chart, you can see, let me bring up the head and shoulders one. So we had an inverse head and shoulders, so a bullish reversal pattern, into the beginning of a bearish reversal pattern. Like this is textbook technical analysis 101. So this inverse head and shoulders, by the time we had formed the right shoulder and saw the breakout, you need to start to expect price to come back down right after, how much did we ran? We ran almost 45%. So you need to expect a pullback. And then after that inverse head and shoulders confirmed, that was the beginning of a head and shoulders of the left shoulder here. So this ended up being the head and then the right shoulder, and now we're targeting $23. So this tool, this indicator is so amazing, the head and shoulders. It's bang on, gives you the target, absolutely love it. Also, one of my favorite indicators is the bullish triple thunder crossover. This is when the 10-week moving average and the MACD and the stochastic all cross bullish. There was a buy alert back here. We just had two more of them, and you can see here that it's pretty accurate most of the time. Here we had the first triple thunder crossover. Price was at around $45, went all the way up almost to 60. Another one here, price was at around 38 and went all the way up to 55. Now we got three back to back. Really love the triple thunder crossover alert and indicator. If we take a look at the M2 money supply as well, this gives you longer term buy and sell signals. We just printed a buy, and this is just in terms of global money supply increasing. And then another one that I really like is the ultra oversold, which factors in the hourly, the 4-hour, and daily time frame. When that happens, if they're all oversold simultaneously, you can see here on the daily. Sorry, that was the micro oversold. The ultra oversold is the, yeah, I think I had that right. The 4-hour, sorry, the hourly, the 4-hour, and the daily. When those are all oversold, that triggers an ultra oversold alert, an indicator. If I put micro oversold on here, this factors in the 5-minute time frame, the 15-minute time frame, sorry, the 5-minute time frame, the 15-minute time frame, and the hourly time frame. Yeah, exactly. So if you take a look at this micro oversold, you can see the hourly was oversold. If we look at the 15-minute, the 15-minute was oversold and the 5-minute was oversold all simultaneously, meaning that it fired off that alert, and that ended up being a great buy. But if you go out to the ultra oversold, and we'll just get rid of the micro for the moment, and we'll reset this chart. Take a look at this. There was two of them back to back, and you could have entered here when the price was at, the buy signal was when we closed at 32.66, and then from there we went up 40%. So you could have entered at 32.66 when the alert fired off. That means we were hourly, 4-hour, and daily oversold on the ultra oversold indicators, and there was two of them back to back. And like I said, a monster move after the fact. So absolutely love it. There's so many different bull flags. We have a bull flag here that's forming, and then also another indicator everybody knows, the daily like golden cross, etc. So you can just go into indicators. You can go here, click on death cross, golden cross, and you can see when we last had a death cross and a golden cross. So you can see here the 50 cross through the 200-day moving average. Boom, tons of upside. And then you can even add the death cross there as well. Go to indicators, click on death cross, and again, this is proprietary to the PAL algo service. But here was the death cross here. The signal to exit was on May 31st. So when the price closed on May 31st, it was 53.74. So if we just go to where the price closed there at 53.74 roughly, we dropped from there after the death cross 44%. And now we're gearing up for a golden cross over the next couple of weeks. So we should see, in my opinion, there's a good chance that we do head back to that $50 level if we zoom into the daily time frame and just get rid of some of these indicators here on the chart so that it's clear. I can show you. Yeah, this is looking like a potential daily bull flag. So if we go from the low there to the high. Actually, no, we pulled back more than the 0.32 fib. So key support, like I said, going forward is going to be 35.38. As long as we maintain that support, we should be heading back up to that $53 level. If we lose 35.38, then we'll be looking at that head and shoulders target of $23. In terms of the weekly time frame, you can see here we just had the bullish triple thunder crossover, the MACD and the stochastic cross bullish on the weekly, and we had a close over the 10-week moving average. In terms of the weekly time frame, we are touching the 50 weekly there at 44.79. If we can get above that, we have a lack of resistance into the 100 weekly there at 51.82, which is right around that $53 mark, which is the ascending triangle target. And then, like I said, on the daily time frame, we're topping out right at the 200-day moving average, but we're essentially a sandwiched right in between the 200 and the 100-day moving average at the moment. So we'll want to hold this 100. We do have the 50-day at 37 as well. So like I said, a lot of support in that $37 to $36 area, but need to hold that $35 level, because if we lose that, then like I said, we're looking at a potential failed breakout and bull trap and a target down to $23. And based on how far away we are right now on the 50 and the 200-day moving average, I would say we're probably roughly a couple of weeks out before we see that golden cross. All right, going into there, hopefully this video was helpful. Make sure to check out the links in the description and in the comment section if you want to check out the PAL Algo service. The price will be going up soon, and if you're a PAL Group private member, you can take advantage of a 20% off lifetime access to the PAL Algo service. Let me know and I'll get you that 20% coupon. All right, going into there, once again, happy Father's Day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's Rod with PAL Group. Thanks again for joining us in the pursuit of wealth, and we'll see you again on the next video.